Welcome back, everyone. We have made it to day 48 out of 50 of our series, and we are going to be finishing off Module 1 of Practice Test 10 today, starting straight away with question 18 right here. The function h is defined by h of x is equal to 4x plus 28. This graph of y is equal to h of x is in the xy plane, has an x-intercept at a comma 0 and a y-intercept at 0 comma b. Where a and b are constants. What is the value of a plus b? Okay, so we had a similar question to this in practice test 9 with a plus b. So we're going to start with solving for our x-intercept, which is when y is equal to 0. So 0 is going to be equal to 4x plus 28. So negative 28 is equal to 4x. X is equal to negative 7. This is going to be equal to a, since a comma 0 is our x-intercept. Now, to find our y-intercept, we're going to do h of 0, and whatever that is equal to is going to be our y value for the y-intercept. So a 4 times 0 plus 28, and this is going to give us 28 for our y-intercept, which is going to be equal to b. Now, when we add negative 7 plus 28, which represents a plus b, we are going to get a value of 21, and that should be our answer. Question 19, for which of the following tables are all the values of x and their corresponding values of y solutions to the given inequality? This is just a plug and chug question. We need to try 3 first. So 17 should be less than, I'm just plugging in these values right here, 5 times 3 plus 6, so is 17 less than 15 plus 6, which is 21? That is correct. Now we need to try 5, and 27, this one right here, so we have 27 is less than 5 times 5, which is 25, plus 6. So we have 27 is less than 31, which is also correct. Now we're going to try the last one, 7, 37. And we have 37 is less than 5 times 7, which is 35, plus 6. So 37 is less than 41. And this is also correct. So answer choice A is going to be our problem. You can try the other ones if you have time, just to give yourself a little more assurance that your answer choice is correct. But just glancing at the other ones, if we have this for our second part of the table, the middle part, 27 is less than 31. 35 is not less than 31, so that's going to be incorrect. And same deal here. And 31 is not less than 31, it's equal to 31, so yeah. Question 20, we have the system of equations. So the solution to the given system of equations is x comma y. What is the value of x minus y? Okay, so for this, I am going to multiply this equation up here by negative 4. So we get the equation negative 4y is equal to negative 16x minus 4. And then we're going to put this second equation below it. We add them, these cancel out. So we get 0 is equal to negative x minus 12. So x is equal to 12. X is equal to negative 12. Now we can plug this into the first equation right here. And we get y is equal to 4 times negative 12 plus 1. So y is equal to negative 48 plus 1, negative 47. Now we have our two variables. It's asking for x minus y, so negative 12 minus negative 47. So this is really just 47 minus 12, and that is going to give us a value of 35. Next question. A right triangle has legs with lengths of 24 centimeters and 21 centimeters. If the length of the triangle's hypotenuse in centimeters can be written in the form 3 squared of d, where d is an integer, what is the value of d? Okay, so we have two legs. We have a side length of 21 and a side length of 24, and then we have our final value of x. Well, if we're looking for x, we can do, I'm actually going to call this c, so it works better with the equation we're going to use. We're going to use Pythagorean's theorem. So we have 21 squared plus 24 squared is going to be equal to c squared. So this can be simply rewritten as this. So c is going to be equal to, I'm not going to simplify it fully, but I am going to square both of the numbers, and that will give us 1017. And we know if 3 is on the outside here, when we factor, we're going to have to take out a 9, we're going to have to divide this inside part by 9 so we can take out a 3. So C is going to be, well, let's see if it's divisible by 9, and 1017 is divisible by 9. We could take out a 3, and we keep in 113. So C is equal to this value. So D is equal to 113. Okay, question 22. The floor of a ballroom has an area of 600 square meters. An architect creates a scale model of the floor of the ballroom where the length of each side of the model is 1/10 the length of the corresponding side of the actual floor of the ballroom. What is the area in square meters of the scale model? Okay, so if the area is 600 square meters, and we're looking at the scale and is asking for the area of the scale, we know that we multiply our value of 600 by 1/10 twice, because we need to account for each side, and then also multiply that by 600. So it's really 600 divided by 100, which is going to be equal to 6. That's your answer for that one. Question 23. Which of the following equations represents a circle in the xy plane that intersects the y-axis at exactly one point? Okay, so we want to be just touching the y-axis once. So we know that these values on the right are our radius. So our radius for every circle we have is 4. However, what we're looking for is a circle that meets this criteria. I'm gonna draw them out for you quickly, like just a little sketch. So we know that the vertex of this one is going to be 8, 8. So let's just say that's this. And if our radius is 4, we're never going to intersect the y-axis. So this is incorrect. Now we have the second one over here with a center point of 8, 4. And if the radius is 4, that means that we are going to intersect the x-axis once, but never the y-axis. So that's also incorrect. Now this question over here, we have 4, 9. So it's going to be like here and there. Now if our radius is 4, we are actually going to intersect the y-axis once on the left side. And that will be your answer. I'm not going to draw the second one just because we already found it. And yeah, question 24. In triangles ABC and DEF, angles B and E each have a measure of 27 degrees, and angles C and F each have measures of 41 degrees. Which additional piece of information is sufficient to determine whether triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DEF? So if we are trying to find out that if they're congruent, we need to know that not only the interior angles are the same, but also the side lengths. So we need to know something about the lengths of the sides of each of these triangles. So we can immediately eliminate option choice D since we do need to know something else. If we only know the measure of angle A, well, we don't even need to know the measure of angle A because we could already find it with just our angle rules of 180 is equal to the total amount of angles within a triangle. Option choice B, the side length of AB. Well, if we have the side length of AB, we still don't know if it's congruent to triangle DEF because we need to know if this side is equivalent to the other triangle's respective side, which is DE. So this will also be incorrect, and this leaves us with the answer choice C, the lengths of sides BC and EF. Knowing these two sides will prove if the triangle is congruent or not. Okay, question 25. The result of increasing the quantity of x by 1,800% is 684. What is the value of x? Okay, so this is really just equation x times the value of 1,800 as a number. Well, we know we need to divide our percents by 100 to get its value. We can plug into a linear equation. So this is going to give us a value of 18. So x times 18 is going to give us a value of 684. So if we're looking for the value of x, we divide 684 divided by 18. And we get 36, which is answer choice D. Two more questions. We have question 26. A window repair specialist charges $220 for the first 2 hours of repair plus an hourly fee for each additional hour. The total cost for 5 hours of repair is $400. 5 hours, $400, which function f gives the total cost in dollars for x hours of repair where x is greater than or equal to 2. Okay, so we're going to try and set up an equation right here. So we know that 220 represents the first 2 hours, and then we're going to have an hourly rate plus the amount of hours x minus 2. We're doing x minus 2 here because we need to account for these 2 hours that are included in 220 already. So plugging in 405, which we're given, 5 minus 2 is 3, we get 180 is equal to 3h, so the hourly rate is going to be equal to 60. So we get f of x is equal to 220 plus 60 times x minus 2. And this is going to give us 60 times negative 2, which is negative 120, so 100 plus 60x. Now, looking at our answer choices, we have answer choice A, which matches that exactly. Question 27, what is the sum of the solutions to the given equation? Okay, well, let's try and simplify first. So on the left side, we have x squared plus x minus 56 is equal to 4x squared minus 28x. Now we're going to move everything to the right side, so our first number is positive, making it a little easier. I'm just going to write it over here so we have space. So we have 3x squared minus 28x minus x, so minus 29x plus 56 is equal to 0. Now I'm going to use the quadratic formula to solve for each of our solutions and then add them together since it's asking for the sum of solutions. So we're going to use the equation negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So we get 29 plus or minus the square root of 29 squared minus 4ac over 2 times a, and this is going to be equivalent to 29 plus or minus 29 squared minus 4 times 3 times 56, which is going to be 169 over 6. So we get our two values right here of 29 plus 13 over 6 and 29 minus 13 over 6. This is going to give us values of 42 over 6 and it's going to be 16 over 6. So values of 7 and 8 over 3. So when we add these together, we get 29 over 3. Okay, so this is it for Module 1 of our last practice test. I hope it helped you learn something, and I'll see you for the harder math module in the next episode.